Yes, 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 yes. We're back in action, baby. Yeah, man. I was on the plane tonight. Flight arrived 4 hours later than expected, brother. But I got home after 10 p.m. and I had to record some content for y'all. Hence why I'm out here in the shed in the official Swank Surf shaping room. As y'all might know, my roommate makes custom surfboard fins and boards. So this is where he shapes. So this is probably going to be a quick one so I don't inhale too many of these fumes in here, brother. Listen, dude, I was on the plane today, bro. A lot of people were tripping out about the ground stall, if you will. You know, summer thunderstorms on the east coast of the USA, bro. Ground stalls are just part of the, things that come with travel in the summer, brother. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, bro, time is largely just a concept. I had homie on my left and me across the aisle, bro. He was tripping out, bro. He was getting mad at the flight attendants, getting frustrated the whole time, dog. Not keeping the perspective, brother, that he was in the upper echelon of percentages of wealth in the world, that he could even take this flying tube through the sky, brother. I'm not going to rip on him too much, brother, but while we were stuck on the runway, I was going down a rabbit hole with ChatGPT, dog, learning about live sound, building a room out, for 100-person capacity venue, dog. I was wheeling and dealing, dog. I was learning some Robert Cialdini, dude, to bring y'all a little bit of content tonight, dude. So I don't mean to rip on homie. Maybe he was a little bit anxious, but I say all this to say, bro, sometimes a 3-hour ground stall on the runway can be the biggest blessing because it enables you to lock in, focus, and learn about something, dude. Think about your next move, what you're going to create next. But anyway, brother, I was up at a work conference, a technology conference, making contacts, closing deals. You know what it is, dude. And on the way plane ride home, dude, I was reading that Robert Cialdini chapter in Persuasion, Thinking is Linking, bro. And they talk about this concept of language as being a tool to call to attention a particular sector or take on reality. So for the first time, brother, I started thinking about language as having an agenda, brother. You know what I'm saying? We could take AI, for example, brother. The language in which it's used to describe AI. People tend to be on either extreme ends of the spectrum. You've got the people looking at things totally positive, brother. They're looking at it like, dude, this is the gold rush, brother. Never has the common man had an opportunity this strong to build wealth. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you're like, this is the final nail in the coffin of the human demise, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about ecological decline, bro. And where is reality? Probably somewhere in the middle, They talk about the misleading use of metaphor in this chapter, this Cialdini chapter. He uses the analogy, dude, of runners. Any distance runners out there? They talk about hitting a wall. I was doing so well and then I hit the wall. And what he talks about is the runners are actually giving agency for them hitting that wall to something outside themselves. Because when they say they hit a wall, we infer that somebody else constructed the wall, and the wall that they hit wasn't a direct result of the preparation, dude, that they put into that run. You know what I'm saying? We see this, right? The way that language is used to cover the war on Palestine, on Gaza, dude. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you say, some suspect noises out here, dog. I think we good, dude. But anyway, bro, you might hear, like, for example, hospital destroyed in ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. And another headline about the same thing might read, hospital destroyed in the Gaza Strip during Israeli bombing campaign, brother. Metaphors, the way that things are framed, the take on reality, brother. They transfer agency and remove agency, right? Extremely powerful. Had a couple other notes for y'all in here, brother. They talk a little bit about this famous insurance salesman, bro. You know, he sold the most ever life insurance in history. And he would use the analogy with folks, when you walk out of life, you know, your insurance policy walks in. And what that does, brother, is saying when you walk out of life, it almost makes associates the person dying with, like, walking away from accountability, brother. And as a social species, right, you know, your average demographic that can afford life insurance, brother, they're not going to be in this zone where they're walking away from accountability. Oh, setting off fireworks at 11 p.m. on a Thursday? Could be gunshots, I don't know. So anyway, bro, as I was saying, you know, social species, dude, you know what I'm saying? Walking away from accountability, this idea of, like, yo, how do I correct that? Me dying. It's like, oh, the life insurance policy will walk in, dude. You'll be back in harmony with the group, bro. And, like, you'll have your family taken care of, dog. So, pretty fascinating stuff, dude. They talk about the concept of, you know, in implicit egoism, you know, which this is essentially, you know, people's kind of affinity for things that are associated with themselves. Say I meet this cutie, dude, and she's like a former scene girl, and, like, her favorite band is Senses Fail, and my favorite band is Senses Fail, and then you find out that I too am also an Aries. Well, her implicit egoism and my implicit egoism is going to make that connection probably instantly electric, brother. You know what I'm saying? So, fascinating subjects in that Robert Cialdini persuasion. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope y'all like that little special intro that I cooked up for y'all. We'll go ahead and get this published, brother. Much love.